So I'm intrigued to know how you got on with the challenge I set earlier in the week about becoming more self-aware of your own listening and the blocks or barriers to listening when you're with other people. So I'd be very interested to hear how you got on. Let me know either in the comments, or if you want to contact me directly, please feel free. So today's a continuation of the listening theme before we go into coaching. And as I said in the last video, listening is a fundamental skill in enabling you to become a more coaching manager, to adopt a coaching style. But it's also a really important life skill. Until you learn to listen, you will not be able to build and forge genuine, deep, true relationships with anybody. It's a fundamental component of relationships. So I said in the last video, I'm going to talk to you about the levels of listening. So I went on my coach training course back in late 2017. And it was on that training course I was asked to read a number of books. And one of the books I read, or was advised to read as part of the program, talked about listening as a skill. And up until that point, if you had asked me, I would have said, I'm a pretty good listener. I know how to listen. I've been on training courses for listening, and having been in a sales and leadership position, I considered myself as a highly skilled listener. Now, listening, as I said, is a skill. It can be developed, but it has to be developed through focused attention and through awareness. So I went on my coach training course and I learned that there were 3 levels of listening. And the third level was a complete surprise to me. So as someone who thought they were an accomplished listener, when I learned there was a third level, it made me aware that actually I hadn't been quite as accomplished as I thought. So I'm going to share those 3 levels with you today and build on the previous challenge to get you to think even more deeply about your own listening. So the first level of listening is one that we will all be aware of, and that is the conversational style of listening. So it's forwards and backwards in a conversation with somebody else. But generally speaking, when we're at level 1, we're only really listening at a surface level. And most of the time we are preparing to speak. So we're listening and waiting for our opportunity, and then we speak. That's level 1. So there's some listening that occurs there, but it's not deep unconscious listening. Level 2 is where it gets interesting. So level 2 is listening with the only intention of understanding and truly processing and responding to what the other person is saying. So it's one-way listening. So level 1 is 2-way listening, forwards and backwards thinking about yourself. Level 2 is deep listening with the intention of only listening to the other person and understanding what it is that they have to tell you. And then any questioning that goes on is only aimed at deepening your understanding of what that person is saying. So you would only ask questions that further encourage that person to speak so you could listen more. That's level 2. Now you might think that's all there is. Certainly that's where I was going on to my coaching program. But there is a third level, and level 3 is the term is global listening. And it's seeking to truly understand not just what is being said, but it's to understand what you can sense. What's being said behind the words? What's someone's body language telling you? When you will have been in a conversation with someone in the past, I'm sure, where they said something and you just thought they might be saying that, but actually there's another message being conveyed. There wasn't congruence between what they had said and what you noticed about their body language, or about how comfortable they seemed, or how relaxed they were when they said what they said. And you will have slipped into level 3 listening, but it doesn't happen without conscious attention. So you have to be really intrigued, really invested in the conversation, and truly want to park your own thoughts. You can only get to levels 2 and 3 with real intention to get there, awareness of your own thoughts and suspending your own thoughts, and really wanting to deepen your listening and connect with the other person whilst parking your own agenda and your own ego, which for some people, I include myself in this, is more difficult than others. So really suspending yourself, parking your agenda, and really listening, observing and sensing what is going on with the other person will help you to develop a skill of listening at a level that is way deeper than you will have got to in the past. So today's challenge is for you to really focus in and continue this theme of listening. Start to understand how you move yourself through those levels from 2 down to 3. So whether it's with your team, whether it's with your partner or spouse, whether it's with your children, your friends, really start to deepen your listening, suspend your agenda, become more interested in the other person, and really, truly and deeply listen to the other person. This will enhance and improve the relationships you have in your life beyond measure, beyond anything else that you can do to invest in those relationships. So I urge you to take on this additional challenge. I hope you see the building here between listening. We're going to move on to questioning in the next episode, and then we'll look at how that impacts coaching. And questioning and listening, those two skills combined, are really effectively what we do when we're coaching. So good luck with that challenge. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode on the Leadership Success Series from Focus for Growth. Thanks again for tuning in.